Okay, good morning. Well, I'm a little fried this morning, so hang with me for this video. I'm getting started on our Streamliner, our Omega class Streamliner. That's Rolo right there. I'm starting to cut up the first pieces here. Wish my nephew Tommy was here because he's a good welder. He has, he's an instructor and a pipeline inspector. But I can cut the pieces and fit them here. So those two pipes sticking out are the main frame rails, and this is the front bumper. I guess nobody knows what an Omega class Streamliner is supposed to look like. So, but I can tell you what makes an Omega class Streamliner different. Here's Iron Dog. We're trying to go on night shift here, so it's I'm a little bit fried. I'm not fully adjusted to the night shift. Plus, my puppy Chiquita had babies last night, so we've been up a lot all night with the dogs here and whatnot. But starting to get ready here. Let's see. When I was in the 7th grade, I was late on a book report, and my mom told me, you're not that smart. You're going to have to start a little earlier. So I'm trying to get a running start at it for 2019. Here's my rule book. That's your guideline for, construction and stuff. And like I say, it's pretty wide open. Only regulation on an Omega class Streamliner body or whatever is 2 of the wheels have to be covered. So we can do that. I'm not the greatest fab shop here or anything, but my son Casey was here, we'd already be banging this puppy out. But people that know me know I'm kind of depressed over losing Casey. So but we got to go on anyway. So between the torch and the chop saw and the help from the dogs, Cornbread, what are you chewing there? Iron Dog's helping you? Okay. What I really want is, here's the difference between Omega class Streamliner, and there's the dog swim pool over there. This is the difference between Omega class Streamliner and the other ones. There's electric cars, and there's some hydrogen fuel cell cars, but all the engine cars, there's jet engines and rocket engines. Most of the cars have a 4-stroke piston engine. And those are the wheel drive cars. Like the electric cars are. But the thing about 4-stroke engines, yesterday I got on a thread on YouTube, and people still, engine science is not very well developed. I saw about 3 or 4 people just go, oh, the reason piston engines only make 20% of your gas money into fuel, into work, 20% of 10% of the money you spend on gasoline is actually converted into work, according to the National Institute of Standards and Technology, part of the Department of Commerce. And 4-stroke piston engines never exceed 20% thermal efficiency. Never get more than 20% of the fuel converted into work. And that's what I was saying about watching YouTube yesterday. If you learn it in college and you read it out of books, the reason is all the heat goes out the exhaust. One guy said it all goes out the radiator. It all goes out through the engine cylinder walls, through the cylinder head, in the oil. They totally discount the fact that 3 of the 4 cycles of a 4-stroke engine are parasitic. They're not making power. They take away from the power that the one out of the 4, there's 1 power cycle, and the other 3 take away power from that. So just the fact that 1 in 4 is a power cycle tells you right there it can't be more than 20%. Then that's not even counting subtracting mechanical friction. Maybe there is some heat loss. but so many people seem to think that all the gasoline's not being burned. Well, that's junk science there. 99% of the fuel is burned. You can tell by the exhaust component. There's less than 1% what you call HCs in a totally uncontrolled engine. You know, a good engine, a flathead like that go-kart motor I just showed you, may have something that doesn't get burned. It may have 2% unburned hydrocarbons, what you call HCs in the technical language there. But our engine is 100% power cycle, and it uses a fuel that's 3 times as powerful as gasoline. Besides, the decomposition products of the fuel are water and oxygen. It's just plain good sense, much less being science. You know, so these people that come on talking about HHO and crap like that, they're still Stanley Myers and the water engine. It looked like a Volkswagen engine to me, and running on gasoline, you know, and they put some water vapor in there and say, oh, how much better it does. Where's your facts? Is it twice as powerful? Is it twice the fuel mileage? You know, we need to be, I may not be that well equipped here, but my science is good. When I tell you that a gallon of gasoline puts 5.5 pounds of carbon back in the atmosphere, there's no arguing with that. That's how much carbon's in a gallon of gasoline. And all the devices on the car engine and everything don't do anything about that. You know, they don't catch it in a bag or a filter or something like that. Diesels are starting to, because part of it, it's not that it doesn't get burned, it's when it gets burned, it turns black, makes soot. You know, that's partially burned. I can see diesels probably have a problem burning all the fuel, because of the fuel. And probably part of it is probably because of how diesels work. And fuel probably burns slow, you know. So, but anyway, we're trying to advance the science of engines a little bit. You know, I got in arguments with Professor John Haywood from MIT. Well, you know, he's stuck his neck out and he said this and that. Well, it's hard for people like that to change after you wrote 2 or 3 books saying stupid stuff to come back and talk about sensible stuff. I told him I invented the first pollution-free engine. He hung up the phone. He said that was impossible. He hung up the phone. Well, you know, if he had waited 1 more minute, I'd have explained to him, if you want to make a pollution-free engine, the place to start is a pollution-free fuel. So anyway, I'm just trying to update you on how the Streamliner construction is going. If you look back, you can see our plan there. And I hope you keep watching. These here are the main frame rails. This is the front, I don't know. Those are the cross members. Well, I'm not doing so great, but, you know, I've been up all night having babies. So keep watching. We'll get this together here. And thanks for watching.